All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to you, good evening to you, wherever you are. This is Jay Randy here, and let me say welcome to the tabletop discussion with me, Jay Randy. It's always a pleasure to be here with you guys. Every one of us, as Liberians, we all have our own ways to do things that will be pleasing to the country. For me, on my show, I always look at the reality that is happening on the ground and challenge the process, the procedures and to determine whether our country is actually headed in the right direction or in the wrong direction. I don't come here to provide political entertainment for you. I don't come here to provide political gossip for you. So if you are here to get such a thing, there are different other shows that you can find to have yourself. But I do look forward to interacting with you, getting your opinion, your view, whether it's inboxing me, calling me to have a conversation, or whether it is done on the show in real time. I feel that the more we engage each other, the better we'll be able to look at the problem, the existing problems in our country, the contributing factor to the problem, the root cause of the problem, and what will be the course of action that we should take to move the country forward. I didn't leave Liberia to come and just have good time in America. My purpose of coming to this country when I left Liberia, one of the reasons was to come here and acquire better education and return home and be able to assist, help in every way possible to improve the quality of life, the environment, and put our country in a better place to compete. While it is true that the opportunity hasn't been given, I don't know whether it will ever be given to me. However, this platform, thank God to technology first, and thank God to social media, particularly Mentor, that is now, Facebook, that is now called Mentor, to give every one of us the opportunity. But I want you to know, as Liberian, when you watch me, I'm going to be very tough because what I see in Liberia, it takes tough love, not a soft love. It takes a very tough love to change things. Because for 174 years, we have traditionally believed that what we have been doing over the years of our existence are things that other people may ought to believe are the truth. But then today, when your grandchildren look at what is happening in the country from Europe, America, and other places, and they see what is happening in their current environment, they see a big difference. And then that big difference will lead to question. And the question will be why in majority, why it is happening. And that's the why I try to bring on my show. My show is not for today's generation. Whenever I come on Facebook here, I am trying to set a history into stone. I would like to see this video by the year 2065, where your great grandchildren and grandchildren, when they look at what happening today, 65 years from today, they will be able to understand that there were some Liberians who meant well for the country, and there were some who never meant well for the country. I don't want to be on the not so well people. I want to be on the side of the people who are seeing the wrong and speaking about the wrong. Today I had two videos for you. This video, I titled it as Monrovia, we have a problem. And then if you look at the detail, it reads, and I'll just read it in part. Liberia is a country that is functioning without procedures or standards. There is no standard of how we do things in our country, and there is no procedures. And because of that, we see things happening in our country. I have to say that we are watching a scripted movie, a movie that has been scripted. Because there are times things will be scripted, it will be controlled to tailor or to present a message. The way things happen in Liberia, it is not a movie, it is reality. The way people are behaving in the country, it is not a movie, it is a reality. It is a reality that presents the society to the world as Liberian. That the way we do things, it has no standard, it has no function, or procedures, which is very embarrassing to us. The politicians in the country have made many Liberians to forget about the different quality of things in our country. I'm not going to fall for that. So welcome to the tabletop. The tabletop discussion is a visual discussion that is being held on a table. I imagine every one of you guys listen to me, 2 people, 3 people, we are sitting on a round table and looking at the issue in the country. And we're having a dialogue, we're having a conversation as to what needs to be done. So if you come here today and I'm talking about what happened in the country, if you're in opposition, don't clap for me. Because when your time comes, you will not be in a position to clap for me. Rather, you will be unhappy with me. And that's the reason why I personally believe that many Liberians will not watch my show because of what they had adapted to. They are seen as the norms. We don't believe in our country that there is something called the truth, and we should live by the truth. In the absence of the truth, we're making no progress. This morning, I afforded you guys the opportunity to inform you that since the new government came to power, it had not made anyone unemployed. Instead, they have made many young people turning 18, 21, jobless in the country for almost 3 years. I also mentioned that the love for the president of Liberia is one of the reasons why things are not right in the country. Because those who love the president, we don't want to hear the truth from those who are victims of what is happening in the country. Liberia is a very undisciplined society. We must do everything we can as Liberians. Because remember, the future generation will judge every one of us. Yes, they will judge us. So, ladies and gentlemen, without delay, let me start with what I have on the plate here. Let me say thank you to Ms. Katumu. I'm a strong believer of education. While it is true that I may not agree with her husband, Joseph Walker, because there are some things that he needs to do to clean up. I saw today that Katumu, in her age, as she is, she has proven to the world that you are never too old to learn. So let me say a big thank you to Ma Katumu for acquiring such beautiful degree. It is my hope that what you learn from the class, what were taught to you, you will use that to help change our society. Because the original sin of any country is illiteracy. And we must put an expiration date to illiteracy by developing policy. For example, we can say at the age of 5 for every little child in Liberia, and to the age of 19, they should start school at 5 and be out of high school by 19. That is one of the ways that we can put an expiration date to illiteracy in our country. So, Sis Katumu, I would like to say a big thank you to you for such a beautiful degree you got today. But your husband and myself will continue to fight on his belief, his philosophy. I still believe that he needs to stand his ground. He has not proven to me and to many Liberians that he is able to stand his ground. He can stand his ground, but we have to challenge him. We have to give him tough love. That said, let me move to the next tabletop here. So over the weekend, we discussed about Musa Berede. One fundamental question that I asked all Liberians, and I think I asked the question when it came to Nathaniel McGill. And I want you guys to understand that when I come here, there are times that I ask questions that are very reversed, questions that are very standard in terms of practice and in terms of criticism. When Nathaniel McGill decided to build that mausoleum for his mom, everybody said that it was wrong. My question was it illegal to do? It turned out to be something else. Yes, it turned out to be something else. Today, Musa Berede, when I mean today now, a few days ago, Musa Berede was being excused or removed as the party chairman by Nomdi Kanga. But many Liberians forgot to know that Nomdi Kanga was on a suspension. That means every authority that she has, was removed. So my question was, how can someone who is suspended be able to remove a party chairman? Does that only happen in Liberia? That was my question. And since we made that analysis, and kudos to you guys, since we made that analysis, all over today now, people are trying to question the integrity, and the legitimacy of Nomblikanga. While it is true that we don't have many people here, they are learning from us. And when you see it, you will know it. Because we introduce it here and you learn from it. So be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself. Listen to the conversation out there as we make our analysis every time on the show. They learn from us and they go out there. The reason they're learning from us is because our presentation here is not based on free talk. It's based on research, experience, both intellectual and experiential qualities. And it's based on our long years of spending time in the Liberian political realm. That's why it's based on. The only sad thing about it, they do not give you the credit. They do not give us the credit. But we will know when we see them behaving the way they're behaving. A few minutes ago, I said, thanks to Musa Berede. And there were some good friends of mine who responded. Let me say this to you. When I say bravo to Musa Berede, I want you to understand that the post that I made, it was based on Musa Berede action. It was based on Musa Berede interview that he had with Gude Flomo and how he principally presented his case. He referenced what empowered him to make decisions as the party chairman. And many of us who believe in the principle of procedures and operation and standards, we felt that Musa Berede had a very good, reliable sources that put him in a better place. And because he did a very good job in explaining that, he deserved a grade. He performed well. So I don't want you to say, oh, Musa Berede is corrupt, he's this. No. The grades that were given to Musa Berede from me is only based on what he did in that interview. If you think about it, Nomblikanga was in arrear. Her suspension was based on her failure to commit herself to her financial responsibility to the party. Tara Dillon, same thing. And if Musa Berede came out and suspended the people based on their failure to commit themselves, that showed leadership. Secondly, Musa Berede, we all know he has a problem and he's going through the punishment of that problem. But should we castigate him? Should we throw him out? No. There is something America has taught many of us. It is called second chance. It is not how you fall, but when you get up, what is your next course of action that you put in place to prevent yourself from falling? That is what I believe in as J. Randy. I don't believe in whether somebody has done something in the past and I continue to judge the person on the past when I'm looking at what the person is doing currently. All right? So today, I have two videos for you. This video is going to demonstrate to you that Monrovia, we got a problem. Liberia, we are yet to understand whether we got procedures and we have stand up in our country. Depending on your emotions, one will make you cry, the other will make you laugh, and the other, it will make you laugh or something else. But again, we are here to discuss these videos. So I'm not going to play the video in its entirety. We will pause the video, we'll analyze the video, we'll provide suggestions, we'll make comments, and at the end of the day, we'll go home. All right? So if you're ready, I'm also ready too. So I'm going to pause the music and please share the video. Share the video on your page. The country called Liberia, the problem we got, I don't know where we can dump that problem. Even the Atlantic Ocean cannot take the problem we have because the problem keep coming and it's just trickling down to one generation to another. It's a sad thing. So let me pause the music here and come to the video here so that we can start the discussion. All right. So our first video is this video here.
So welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, this is a very sad video. This is a very sad video. The lady you see to the far right here that is sitting right underneath the KMTV, just to give you a snapshot, because the table-top discussion, we discuss the background of every issue. We present the issue about the topic. We analyze and we make conclusion. This lady you see with the black veil right underneath the KNTV logo there, she was pregnant and got beaten and lost a child in the process. My question to you guys, if that was in another environment where you find yourself, do you think whoever did that will still be walking free? So let's go through the video. Let's go through the video. It is a learning experience here. So I want you to be patient and let's go through the video. We want to understand whether in Liberia we have standards of how things should be done. We got procedures of what need to be followed. Or are we developing a very undisciplined society? So, ladies and gentlemen, the video is ready to play. Let me play the video for you guys.
From wherever you're watching, this is KMTV. We are broadcasting to you live here from District Number 2, Monrovia County, here in the St. Francis Chicotam area, where we are here to bring you live broadcast here of a press briefing, a major press briefing by Honorable Musa Sheriff of District Number 2, Monrovia County. It has been alleged that a staff of representative of District Number 2 representative, Honorable Jimmy Smith, allegedly beat on a pregnant Ivorian lady, and in the process, she lost her baby in the process. So, in solidarity of that, Honorable Musa A. Sharif and his people are here to read this press briefing on behalf of the family of the victim. We read. Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, member of the press, firstly, before we can join Honorable Musa Sharif to address a grave issue regarding to the unfortunate situation that happened in our district number 2. Firstly, I would love to say thank you to the press for always being with us to inform the Liberian people on the unfolding. So at this point, now to talk, we will now so at this point, we can turn the pedal of the discussion to Honorable Musa Sharif to address the issue, and then after Honorable Musa Sharif, the press will speak directly to the victim. The mother will speak to the press and explain to you exactly what happened. Thank you so much. Honorable Musa Sharif,
yes.
You can go ahead.
Thank you very much, and thank you for being here at this time. So we'll strictly go into this press statement. Members of the press, we simply call you here today knowing that you are the medium through which the voice of the voiceless are heard. A medium used to draw the attention of the rightful authority to horrible happenings in the land like human rights violation, among other things. As a prominent resident who has been in the business of defending human rights and a consistent advocate for good governance, my office was contacted by Mr. Janebu Jabi and her sympathizers to quickly intervene into what she called wanton violation against her right to risk being compromised. Mr. Jabi said that her baby died upon delivery at the hospital as a result of the brutality meted against her by one Boto, who is a staunch supporter of Representative Jimmy Smith, and this is also in accordance with the medical report.
All right, so guys, so we are about to analyze this portion here, right? So again, we are not here for political entertainment. We are here to listen to an issue. We are here to understand whether our society, the Liberia you're always rushing to, that when I tell you guys that I'm not ready to go there, these are the common things that happen in the community. It's not the big platform that we see all the time. We should be able to look at things that are happening in your neighborhood, in your community, to determine whether our country is disciplined or not. You just listen to the gentleman there reading out loud for you that a woman, pregnant woman, lost her baby due to a gentleman who is loyal to a representative from district number 2. That is the issue that he just presented to us. Question for you. If that was your wife in America here, if that was your wife in South Africa, if that was your wife in some part of the world, what do you think will happen to that person today? What do you think will happen to that person today? If we cannot bring these things to the bigger platform, I will bring them. And that the reason why sometimes I will tell you guys that that country is not safe for me. Because if a pregnant woman is vulnerable to the extent that she can lose her baby, and now nobody on any big platform is bringing those things out. You know why they don't bring them out? Because they don't live there. They don't live there. Their wife, they're not living over there. Their children don't live over there. So the little thing that drop in a community, it's not their concern. They don't bring those things up. But these are things that I look for. Because just how you live in this country, if somebody put a debt on your loan, you better pick up the phone and call the police, and that person will not be able to do such a thing. These are the fundamental things that will give you and I the reason to understand whether people are doing things with process or using some sort of standards. And we got leaders. So that's the problem there. So let me progress here, guys. All right? Let me progress here.
Mrs. Jabi further explained that Boto, the perpetrator and a staunch supporter of Representative Jimmy Smith, stoned her in her stomach and forcefully knocked her with stick, a lethal force that got her unconscious and didn't know how she got out of the hospital. Frustratingly, according to the victim, having carried the case to the police depot to get justice, but later got informed by an officer that Representative Jimmy Smith has ordered the case to be transferred to the community chairman's residence instead of the police station that is constitutionally clothed with the authority to protect lives and property in this instant case. The victim said, up to current, she and her family have not seen anyone, not even the community chairman, neither the perpetrator, nor Representative Jimmy Smith, who used his governmental power recklessly to remove the matter from the police station for further discussions. Members of the press, having clearly highlighted the situation that triggered this press conference, first and foremost.
So guys, again, you listen to the young man there. This representative who special aid murdered this woman, unborn baby. The man left and went to the police station and grabbed the man who committed that murder. And nothing has been done. Nothing has been done. Do you see any process in there? Yango, you live in Australia. Does that happen in Australia, Yango? My brother Henry Yango, you live in Australia. If that case were in Australia, is that how the parliament representative or however you call them over there, is that how it will be? If you live in Ghana, if you live in India, if you live in South Africa, is that how it works? We must determine whether there is some form of process or some sort of standard of how we do things in Liberia. Let's listen more, guys.
As a permanent citizen in this district, it is totally disturbing to inform you that we have horrible leadership in this district as I speak. Our district, under Representative Jimmy Smith, has become lawless, deeply divided, and underdeveloped. Representative Smith has been at the epicenter of breeding chaos among the citizens. The above information about him obstructing justice is not the first time, neither the second, nor the third or fourth. It will not also be the last, from all indication. Since he got elected, Representative Smith has always used his power to hurt the citizens instead of making them proud by bringing development, uniting our people, and drafting positive bills that positively affect the lives of our people. A few months back, there was another allegation levied against Smith, who instructed the beating of few courageous young men, including Sir Numa, Michael Spencer, Aliyu Kamara, Mohammed Belity, and Stanley Colley, who have been criticizing him for wrongly leading the district.
So now, guys, let's do this here, all right? So let's break it down here. So you getting the history about Representative Smith. This is a man who don't take criticism. He reacts to all criticism rather than responding to all criticism. And I don't want you to believe that I'm holding him accountable here. I'm leaving room where he will be able to explain himself. And mind you, we are now bringing the issue of Representative Smith from District 2. We are now bringing his business out to the public. Very soon, the media institution, the big boss then will see reason now, because we on the tabletop discussion, we are bringing it out. I can guarantee you, prior to the end of the week, he will be in the news, and we will take that credit, because you know what? We go to the core of the problem in the community, and not to the top of the pyramid where the big boys are having fun and don't care about what is stabilizing that pyramid. So Representative Smith of District Number 2 is being alleged by this young man, based on his behavior, of constantly beating young people in the country who disagree with him, who disagree with his leadership. Does he understand that one of the principles of democratic country is freedom of speech, freedom of expression? Do you really think he going out there authorizing people to beat on the young people? Do you think it is the right thing to do? And do you think because he continuously doing these things and he is not held accountable, now you see when a white man writes something in a letter to President Johnson and say, you guys need to be accountable, you guys need to be able to follow the rules of law, you guys need to be transparent? Do you see where we're coming from now? As a lawmaker, as a representative, it is upon him to allow freedom of speech. How can you be a lawmaker and you want to be very defensive against people who express their opinion against you? How can it be? So now you see how his behavior now has triggered over, because his behavior has been rewarded. Neither the speaker nor the media ever put this man in the spotlight to discuss his bad behavior in our country. He has been under the radar, and the situation from his boys who support him, it has gone wild to the extent now that they have killed a woman baby in her stomach. Let's listen to the story here more, folks. Let's listen more here, all right? So let's listen more.
Again, sometime in October 2021, some of you may have heard Representative Smith referring to the people of Kpangwen community as bunch of fools. Bunch of fooly people. On OKFM, to the Kpangwen community people. These plus many contradictions speak to the unarguable fact that Representative Smith is the worst representative in the history of this district. However, and aforesaid, we are therefore calling on everyone, well-wishers, human rights activists, organizations, female journalists in Liberia, the Association of Female Lawyers of Liberia, the Legal Sisters of the Louis Arthur Graham School of Law, the United States Embassy near Monrovia, the European Union, the AU, embassies accredited near Monrovia, the President of the Republic of Liberia, Dr. George Weah, and his government through the Ministry of Justice and the Gender Ministry to come to the aid of Mrs. Jabi, who have been hurt deeply. She's in severe pain, both physically and mentally.
And now, God, let me just hold the guy there, all right? Let me just hold the guy there, all right? Let me hold him there, and then come back here to you guys again to make some comments here, all right? So you see, when I'm telling you guys that the ministry, especially the ministers and the director in the Weah administration, when I tell you guys that these people are just in there and doing nothing, you would think I'm lying. But this is one of the examples that proves my point. The incident happened right in Monrovia, where the Ministry of Gender head office is. And up to now, she hasn't even come out. Imagine a woman lost her unborn child, and nothing has come out from the Ministry of Gender, neither the Ministry of Justice, neither from the press. Well, you heard the man. He's asking everyone in their wee way to throw light on the situation. And we are throwing light on it. A few months ago, the Liberia Mission School principal flogged a girl. We never got any closure on that case. Have you guys forgotten so soon? Yes. A few months ago, remember that case from High FM, where the police officer, his daughter got flogged by the principal at Liberia? Why it is true that it's a private institution, the Ministry of Gender, the Ministry of Justice, they have not gone out to the public to inform them. Do we have a society that function on principles, that function on standards, that function on procedures? Do we have one? Do you think we have one? Look at where you live, outside of Liberia, and how things are done with principles and procedures. How things fall into place when something goes bad or something is about to go good. How it fall into place. Because the people who are in authority that carry out the different functions. You wait until you hear what the woman going to explain. All right? You wait until you hear it. All right? You wait. Where is this guy they call Christopher Tobasi? Because all he does is just go around and posting it around. Josephine David will not get flogged in the street because she's a public official, right? All right? Or how they call the other lady here? Mama C. Kaba will not go in the street and get flogged. They won't go in the street to get flogged. No, because they are government officials. And these are people that Mr. Tobasi is closely associated with. So for this lady here, you're not find Christopher Tobasi posting things that this lady needs justice. You're not find him doing those things because there's no connection there. You see my point now? When I look for opportunists or opportunistic people, these are things that he's supposed to be posting now because he got tricky finger to keep posting stuff. Why he can't post the woman picture now and create some awareness on it? No. Because that's something that is not in his job description to do. It's not part of his job description. So let me progress here, guys. Let me progress. All right? Let me progress.
We want to particularly inform the President, Dr. George Weah, to take charge of this unfortunate situation, for it is in his interest. Failure to take action against the perpetrator and his protector. The perpetrator and his protector, Representative Jimmy Smith, his government reputation stands to blemish, both locally and internationally. Gone are the days where people will use their power or positions to obstruct justice. We want justice for this now. For us, we will not sit idly to allow this gross human right humiliation to be compromised. We shall use every necessary means in our domain to pursue this case in order to discourage the reoccurrence. Representative Smith must be aware that we will fight this case to the logical conclusion. The perpetrator must be brought to justice. Who fights a pregnant woman? You must be a killer. Thank you very much.
So let me hold you guys there. Let me hold you guys there. All right. Let me hold you guys there and present to you Representative Smith. All right. So let me hold you guys there. So you can see this Representative Smith. You're going to be surprised what you're going to see right now. I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. All right. I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. You are about to be surprised to see what I'm about to show you here. All right. So let me blow the screen up here. All right. This is the Representative Smith guy here. This is Representative Smith here. The guy is a sedition. I will hold this thing here for a while so that you can see his number out there. His phone number is over there. The party he belonged to is the CDC party. He currently serving. He took that position since 2015. Since 2018. And he is a sedition. He is a sedition. This is the representative guy who beat on that lady. Do you think sedition will talk about that? You think when you go to the CDC talk show, they will talk about that? No. They're not going to talk about that. The guy they call Christopher Tobasi, he's not going to post anything about that. Because you know what? It is the love I talk about. They love CDC, they love the weird people, so they're not going to go after that guy. But let's listen to the woman's story here, right? Let's listen to the woman's story here.
Okay, folks, that was the voice of Honorable Musa Sharif, aspiring of District number 2. He's here.
There is a photo.
Yeah.
There is a photo of the. This is a photo of the child that was, harmed by the action of a ruthless supporter of Jimmy Smith. Imagine a person with 5 senses would take rock to stone a pregnant woman in the stomach.
So I think they did a very good job by not displaying the graphic image, because I think when the woman had the miscarriage, they may have taken photo because there is not too, I won't say not too much. I don't think they have any privacy law, but I think the family decided to just not present the photo to the camera. But what the guy is saying is the photo from the woman miscarriage. All right. So let's listen. The woman is about to tell you her tragic and horrible experience at the hand of Representative Jimmy Smith. By the way, this guy's name should be reported to the U.S. Embassy. It's very easy to do. All you have to do is do a screenshot of his photo and email it to the U.S. Consul Department, the U.S. Consul section, and file a human rights abuse against him. And he will be listed as someone who abused people. So if you guys don't know, you need to start to do those things as well. All right. So we did that to Solomon Josh in 2016. We did that to Solomon Josh. And that's one of the reasons why Mr. George is finding it very difficult to come to the United States. Because he made a threat and his photo was requested, because when we contacted the U.S. Embassy back then in 2016, they asked for his name and they asked whether we could send a photo, and we sent a photo that time. And since then, it has been very difficult for him to travel here. We don't know whether to put him on travel ban. So Representative Jimmy Womba Smith, one of his staffers murdered an unborn baby. That is a human rights murder. That is a murder. And I think the government of Georgia needs to get involved to carry on a thorough investigation. And that's why we are throwing light here. All right. These situations will not be brought to the Liberian people. You see, when you live in America here, you just watch these people who get in political drama because you are not being affected directly or indirectly. So you don't care for what happened to people on the ground. And that's one of the reasons why I'm very concerned about Liberia, because the things that are not brought to the light are the things that I am worried about, because that is the worst things that are happening in the country. And because people don't care. See, we don't have that empathy for our fellow Liberians back home. But let's listen to the woman's story. Very, very sorrowful story. Please, if you quit to cry, man, look, I will ask you to be strong, all right? Because I want you to listen to what that woman going to explain. Put your mom in a woman's situation. Put your sister in a woman's situation. Put your girlfriend in a woman's situation and listen to the story. Let's play the video.
And so she went to deliver. As you see the bruises, you are clearly informed this is what we call a cowardly act by any person. That person shouldn't be called a civilized person in this republic. It's a violation of the right of a human being. So that is why we call you. There is an example, there is a fair evidence you have, and this is also in accordance with the medical report.
Okay, there you have it, folks. We are still here live from the...
So, guys, as you can see, this is the lady here in the black veil here. She lost her unborn child at the hand of a brutal staffer. And they are from the CDC camp. Very sad story. You all need to share the video, guys. You all need to share the video. Everyone need to share the video. The lady is about to tell her story. We don't have the power here, folks. We don't have the power here. The power lies in your hands. Share the video. This is more educative than entertainment and political gossip here. So let's listen. These are the realities that are happening on the ground. Real things happening on the ground. So listen to the woman's story, folks. Listen.
Resident of a veteran, Madam Jadi. She is here. As you just heard from Honorable Musa Sharif, she was beaten by...
Woman is grieving. You know what it means to lose your child at the hands of somebody and the person passing around? Think about it, guys. Think about it. This is not only about sympathy. I want you to put yourself in that shoe. Put yourself in that shoe. She's strong. I mean, she's very strong to be over there and tell her story. She's very, very strong at the hands of somebody. Let me progress.
Staff, a supporter of Representative Jimmy Smith of Monrovia County, District Number 2. Honorable Jimmy Smith, a supporter of Jimmy Smith, beat on her, and while she went to give birth, she had serious complication and she lost her baby in the process.
Speak English to them.
So, you have it. And we are also being told that Honorable Jimmy Smith allegedly released the suspect in question.
I can't understand the thing here, guys. All right, let me say this here. I can't really understand this thing here, and I'm sorry for interrupting the video here. So this guy, all right. So it is being alleged that the staffer of this guy beat this woman and murdered the woman baby in her stomach, and the police came and put the guy in jail, and the representative went in there and released the man from the jail. You know, I really don't know about most of you guys, but that kind of story, it made me to feel very uneasy about the country. Yes, it made me to feel very uneasy about the country. I don't know the background of these guys that the Liberian people are electing, whether some of them were former rebels who came to power. But think about a situation in a better country. Look at the woman right now. So we'll leave it like that and play. All right? Let's play it again.
So let's now hear from the mother. So she is now explaining her ordeal.
So she's now telling her story, guys. I want you to put yourself together and listen to this woman's story. She's grieving, but she is holding her own. She's standing firm to let you guys know about what happened to her. Let's listen here.
So the girl boy is still on and I see him. I tell my husband to give me money, let me go look for the girl. If they pump back, let me get them money because they have a day. So they should go buy my suit. Let me tell the empty bucket to be in. I'll go in. No, one small girl will go in now. Mama class. I see the place, they hold on, say, Papa, by the first group. I see the other group party. I will go in. I see my daughter, just checking my daughter going, see the person, and I see you there. I don't know what happened to the pump people park there. So, if I see the boy, one my son, Martin Jabi, I saw him coming with motorbike. I had a boy ask me, some, my wife here, I said, I don't know. They must say, who I can see people that are not asked. After now, I tell Martin, I want to send your sister to go buy food, man. I see your sister. So, can't carry the money, go buy the food you get for me. The boy said, oh, my pa called me, say, I'm being a motor, but you won't go to work. I said, okay. Carry the motor to the house to your pa. If you can't tell the money, you go in the market, you got market to go buy the food to come back. I had a boy come carry the motor to our pa. The boy can't tell me. This all better. Or car break down on the road. They, I know they need light, right? So the boy was passing, the boy called the boy. Before the boy can and see people can't hear right in our boy. He said, my picking, what are you going? He said, Mama called me. He said, okay. Can't help me, they will start a car. My car break down there. Boss me take my car and say, a car key, say, my people to me say, let me carry the car to the depot. Me, I don't know how I will start. Can't help me, let me start the car, I go. Then me get on the car. My son to open the car here. I don't know what they do. I will send it to the other side, to the continue with it to the other side, send it. I will wait for the gun and then they start the car. Me get the money, then he go. So where the house start, I will brother treat me like that. The brother start high. You say you see the man go down there, they plan to do something to that man. They will miss me thought Jenny father doing say. So and you see, they can't nothing happen in that car. They get doing something to happen to that man, to the papa. The hammer saw they say plop at me and I know in the meaning in English. He said plop, they say that one. So and there's anything you not understand, ask people what happened and you're doing that thing. If you don't know what would do the car to start, ask me. Then say my picking, then you're running, you need to do to James Kenneth, James Ali Uncle say Kenneth time and finish. There's not that James time. If after that running on me, I will flock you, Jenna. The men say tell me in the fast, and I'm causing you and I'm being nothing to you. May the truth are telling you. You get one more call to the boy, man, cause I can see that me the one you cause you. Cause the boy, man. The boy said, they ain't causing me, you not equal. He get on here again. Second one, the boy pay him there. So what to the cloth to go to the boy now? I said to her, what coming to my son? I said, Matthew, and I like it. In Manuona. And I like it. If you finish with that car job, come take my money, go buy my suit, let me go to the house. I want plenty talk in a play here. That's what he came for. The boss seeing forcing himself to go to the ball, before to reach to the ball, my said to a tea around when he said, brother, beg you. And then insulting the ball getter, he not insult you. He said, oh, you not insulting me? I say, yeah, he not insulting you. And then insulting he get to you, I don't want the boy insulting me. Please forgetting me. In Bossa. He said that your son, I say, yeah. That when you pour on my lap, he start insulting me. You will more cost. I said to her, I say, you're not hearing me. They were not even hearing me because I won't born you. Why said I won't born you? He left on him, slapping my ear. Why is slapping? I said, what did I do to he just start beating me? Calling me. My flow in here. I'll finish also it. I'll say it to you. Calling me. Yeah, my clothes, they all side just move together. They all side to move. I said, what happened now? That's what sister did.
So guys, I will pause this here and let's discuss a little bit here, right? So you hear the lady there telling you how the gentleman put his hand on her. Not only did he do that, but slapping the lady. She's pregnant. Do you think people are normal in our country? Do you really think people are normal in our country? And that's why the topic is Monrovia, we got a problem. We have problems. Lawmaker, staffer of lawmaker. The person is not your wife, even if that's your wife. To just take your bare hands and just start to hit people. You see, when you live in a society that is very civilized, you will want to try to at least help the people back home to understand. I'm not here to chest out all the big network whenever I come on my show. But what I want you to understand, that many of us, many of our friends that watch this show, there are two reasons they are watching this show for. One, just for entertainment. Two, just to relax their mind or to listen to political gossip. But they are not having any impact on our society back home. They are not having any impact. Because instead of teaching our people, putting hands on somebody, it is an assault that will take you to jail. Our people continue to behave in a shape and form because nobody is utilizing their network to bring to light these things. So you listen to the woman, slapping the woman. He knows for nowhere. He's just slapping the woman. It touches me a lot. And I will say this here. That's one of the reasons why I will tell you guys that even my dog cannot go to that country. Because the country got no standards, the country got no procedures, and the society is undisciplined. You may think that because you got government, you got ministers, you may think the country is okay. No. You just find yourself in any situation in our country and see how the society and the people who run the society and live in the society will behave to you. Let's listen to the woman's story more here, guys. Let's listen more here.
Why you beating a girl for? You beating a baby there for? No, what the baby do you beating a baby there for? They all of my sister were there. All of them start talking. I made get people right, start knocking around my hand. So I just do that rock in risk on my hand. I see me the walk coming now. The clothes tell me, I get the clothes on me. I leave myself on that I haven't set a scare. I did a scare on me now. So he pick on rock, tongue me with a rock. That rock can catch my stomach. He take sick to knock me with a say that I'm a soft person. He said, to come, the people say you are little boy. The boys are not going for it. You see my mouth, so they may beat my man. I'm going to carry my mouth to the horse. I'm not going for it. Knock the be your hand here, Martin. He tell a sick, he knock my son with they say the whole play, he hear my son or him. So the second tail runner, he reaching on my stomach, he get 2 times on my stomach. Like the play feeding now, I go there on my stomach. Start crying, I say my stomach. My pressure start going up. My pressure very, very, and I know what I reach the clinic. Now after I just they kick me or feet to years of the hospital. I see myself to the hospital and I say, what happened? Jesus started in the clinic. I say, oh, sorry for you before you come to your sister. After the children come to the hospital, I tell my husband, I'm going to the airport. They told me that far from. So I went to far. My husband said, I'm going to go to the airport. I said, anything you want, you don't have to eat. You can be serious more. May you need food to get what to eat, you don't know the serious. Please, don't go to the people. Them are who did their before going. We go to the corner. And then I asked my why I go there, somebody beat me if I go to hospital, that the clear thing to pay is we get 2 officers to my hospital to come rescue them. The people cheat, hospital call and say, General, tell all officers and say the people in the community say, the men will not go. I said, why? They say, how the people say, well, they won't be the people say the people even get good document and good ID card. So I I'm going to tell all of the people that I tell your commander, or all of the officer, Chimba, or myself, they can't explain where to do that. I see one guy, bread, enough for me, he chin, one man long, Mr. Kamara. The man with a good team before Mr. Kamara entered. Then the next the people ask me and they call me and they ask me about my knee. I scream on I call my knee. What play a lady, I call they play a lady. But to start asking me and the people enter the street to meet me. Why I want to start with the street now? That our uncle Chi say he take excuse card to the officer. The officer put the event down. He say he want to small. Everybody looking at him. He say yeah because business saying for that man, the way you can see the people there, he want to tell a case, he want to tell that man want to go home. He reached to you to talk. That Mr. Kamara said no, he's not happy there. The Mr. Man will hear for everybody, not for one person. If you want to do that one, you see the friend you want. While you will take it, you still will take it like it, then you take it like it. Now you can say you for one person to say this and that no, I will not agree with that one. You have to talk why you want to talk. Then you say, okay, Mr. Kamara, restore you. To tell your people, I beg you, they will take a case to turn to community chairman to go just the case. I beg you. Because why the people say me, I beg you. Mr. Kamara, read to my husband. My husband said, Kamara, anything you say, I behind you. Ahana. They make it a case will come on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. When I see nobody in the family said to come to ask me what I dog me coming on all he died. So I don't see nobody. And so Wednesday now, no Tuesday, my husband will come out go to the chairman house. Chairman said nobody will restore him. Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday because I don't know your make ready. Okay. So the Hannah he my husband on the camera go there. They go to the talk to the camera. I don't know why they go design there. My husband choose to tell me, say the people not come and say go to the depot buy. My husband go there buy. He go tell the police people. The police people say they don't get Wednesday and Thursday. And the people not just the case, then they will say we can't take the case to the depot. We'll wait for them to Thursday, we don't see nobody. Friday, we don't see nobody. And that Friday evening now, my stomach started hurting me small. I tell my husband, my stomach hurting me. Oh. He said, hey, the medicine they get to you last and taking it. I said, yeah, taking it. Bahana, my husband said, continue to take the medicine. If you know where they'll go to the clinic, but I said, no. Then you will carry me to the clinic, but I'll pray me Thursday will wait until today. Go tell the pre-med, then you can carry me to the hospital by. My husband go there. The nurse said they will wait for Monday. The officer said they will wait for Monday. And my husband come. He lead and call me. I said, me what I want for? Because I don't say this in other way. Because I'm senior, I don't say this in a refugee. So, I don't really know why they give me that answer. If they know where, for you and the people turn and enterprise turn. I don't want you to die for 19p. Kahana, my husband for enterprise on Saturday now. Saturday evening, my stomach started feeling pain. All the people say the car, the UN car, they need to be here. They got a UN used to be a car for me. I go for busing. So he said the car need to be for me here. The car breaks down. So then my husband found a way to take me to the hospital. I don't know what to sit down, but my husband go to look for a car, no car. I have my husband key. I tell my husband they need wait. Well, he said one more than me. And anything that they home I say in the morning, they will find car. I home I say in the night, Saturday in the morning now. My husband tell me that I will go to the Johnson or go to their own car or go to here to the hospital. Wow, go there because I feel I can take my children, I can take my bathroom off. So when we go there and the people check me, they say, I could train me to check me. They charge down, you're going to get another charge down. They charge down on 2 days after. When I say 2 to 5, they will not be charging me now. Ask me.
Hold on there, guys. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Let's go back to the video there. Let's go.
I don't know what else their solution for. I will tell a solution. That's all me say. Funny solution for me. I see the operation with the message will help me to get better myself. I had a help me to get managing the color solution for Sunday in the 11 o'clock.
So, folks, if you are just joining this broadcast, this is KMTV, and we are broadcasting to you live here from district number 2, here where we are here at the home of a veteran.
So let me say this here, guys. So this lady, she is under the UNHCR refugee program in Liberia. Yes, in Liberia. She is under that program. And you have a lawmaker taking advantage of her. Speaking of a lawmaker, let me bring the guy photo up here, right? Because that's what we're trying to upload for you guys to see it. So this is your lawmaker right here. All right? Take a good look at the guy. In fact, I'm going to make my photo very small, and I'm going to make his very big. Yes. There you go. So there go your lawmaker there. That's the guy over there. All right? Member of the House of Representatives, Monrovia County, District number 2. He is a sedition. There go his phone number there. Pick up that number, call that young man, call this guy, and let him report himself to the Justice Ministry. Those of you guys that got the bigger platform, this guy need to be brought to book. He is a very violent man. And right after the post, we're going to put it out there. Yes, we're going to put him out there. This is the Jimmy Smith guy, Representative Jimmy Smith. That's his name. All right? So, let's leave it as that. Let's leave it as that and come back to the lady here. Because she is the one.
Veteran here, Mrs. Chaniba. She is here in tears as her baby was announced dead by the hospital 2 days before delivery upon mission to the hospital. It was all because she was beaten by a supporter of
And that's how the story went.
Honorable Jimmy Smith.
And the medical people told her it is as a result of the extra force that hit was come up, led to that. So the baby was killed in the stomach because of the extra force, and she carried it back to the hospital. What happened? And she cannot explain further. It's clear, and so as we're saying, the baby went there at the hospital already because of what happened exactly here at the road where Jimmy Smith lived, and it derived from the action of his supporter, and I know this is sanctioned by him. And so we need the action of the government to be taking to intervene. There's a gross human rights violation that we cannot allow to just be swept under the carpet and justice be compromised.
Thank you. So thank you so much. If the press have any question, then we can accept 1 or 2 questions. If no way, then that's it.
So yeah, so guys, so there you have it. Our country, Liberia, post-war Liberia. That is what's happening over there. People are living on the edge. Anything can happen to anybody. People can lose their lives. People can get killed. And those who are in position, they don't care. So we will end this video here. And all I have to say in regards to this, Representative Jimmy Smith and his guys, they are monsters in our country. You want to stay away from them. There is no justice for the innocent people. There is no true advocate or advocacy for the innocent people. You find seditions posting things, trying to question the other opposition people. But when sedition get involved, beating and killing a born baby in, belong to a mom, a prospective mom, you don't find sedition posting these things to say, this guy did this, we need to investigate. It is very, very sad. Very, very sad. My heart go out to the lady. I know what it means to lose a child. Who knows? That child could have been somebody in the future. But because some brutal guy just decided to take the law in his own hands, and he's been supported by the representative Jimmy Smith, who went down to the police station and just took the guy out of there. That alone tells me that we got no standard of how things are done. There's no procedures. The society is indisciplined. Now, let's move to the last video here for the night because we are pressed with time. Let's move to the last video here of the night. And this video, again, the first video we just watched, it has to do with community discipline, respect for the rule of law. It doesn't apply in that situation. The next one, it has to also do with procedures and standards. You're going to see again to determine whether our people back home, they need more help than more awareness. There is a fire that took place on Dupo Road. That's the background I'm giving you now. A fire took place on Dupo Road. Normally, trained professionals in any civilized society, we call them first responders. We appear on the scene. The police will secure the area and go into crowd control. And then the professionals, depending on the situation at hand, fire will be the firefighters. Disaster will be emergency response folks. That includes some firefighters as well. These people will be the one to show up. But you are about to see a video that it will demonstrate to you that we have no standards in our country. We have no procedures. And the society is getting very, very undisciplined every day. No rules, no regulations. Let's go to the video now, guys. Let's go to the video.
What to do? So some area has already been quenched. So the fire service have come out starting from the other side. And around the dust belt, better say dust belt, so they managed to quench the fire out there. You police will hold this to hold the traffic, they will not hold it.
So guys, as you can see, the wind factor is playing a major role. I think that wind might be blowing from maybe from east. So as you can see, the smoke is basically moving from your right hand side to your left. From your left hand side to your right hand side. The wind is a factor here. Another thing I want to bring to your attention also too is these guys who are trying to break down the structures, what they are putting themselves into right now is what we call harm's ways. The zinc, the building they are crushing down, there are many hazards that are within the rubble that is coming down. You got nails. You got sharp objects. You got electrical lines. These guys are not trained people. They are just community dwellers, but they are reacting to the fire. The smoke itself too is toxic because whatever in these buildings, whether it's chemical, gasoline, the toxicity that is being released in that smoke, it will get you coughing, it will get you choking on the smoke and stuff like that. The society of our country is not only undisciplined, we don't have no standards. So let's watch the video again, guys. I mean, as you can see, look at the bystanders, children, everyone from everywhere. When I spoke about the massive jobless people in the country, many of the people in the crowd, they are all part of those things. That's what you see over there. That's it right there.
So this shop, Tyler, just try by all means to get some of their goods out. It's completely on fire at this point. And let's play. The fire on here. The fire not and at this point, these guys have actually blocked. And these guys have blocked the fire service truck. Where is the Liberian National Police at this point? This has been a question to push this guy to make sure to hold the traffic like we said earlier on. Let him go back. Go back. Hold on, man. Hold up. Hey, hold on. Don't go. Let him come outside. Hold on. Get up on the car. Move. Hey, you don't go. You park your car. Don't.
Guys, this is your city. This is our country, Liberia. Yes, all the mouth we got, all the big mouth we make, all the bragging. Look at how things are in the country. Do you see any process? Do you see any procedures in there? See, when people sit on Facebook and live in other countries and come with all their gadgets and have conversation and not being able to show you exactly how our people are living and how the level of illiteracy, very undisciplined, present itself, that's it right there. You got a fire. We don't know what the buildings contain, whether they are explosive material, whether they are chemicals that are being burned in the fire. Everybody just sitting around it. And then you got a guy with a long T-bar trying to break down the structure, whether there is some form of electric connected over there, breaking down the zinc, whether there are nails coming out that is putting people in danger. Nobody to say anything in this country. Do you really see procedures over there? What do you think wrong with that picture? Let's just do this from a training standpoint. What do you think is wrong with that picture? Are we a disciplined people? The citizens in the country, do they know their right? Do they know what to do? Let me play the video.
Wait for me. Wait. Don't move. Don't move the truck yet. Don't move the car. Until the car parks. Thank you, officer. I'll block the whole place here. Nobody should come. They will not give the police. Okay, so sorry. At some points, we have to also get involved with this because it's about saving life and saving like the police. We're being overwhelmed. So now that the road is clear, the fire service Go back, you go back, go back. Go back, go back. So the whole place is on fire, even though the fire service is trying to. Where are you going? Where are you going with this truck at? Where are you going with this car? So with the help of some of the residents around here, they are helping the fire service to quench the fire. Yeah, coming. Yeah. So we are here.
All right, let me hold this thing here because I'm reading a few comments here. Let me hold this thing here. Let me see here. Let me hold this thing here. I just want to address a few things here before we get back to the video here. All right. So let me address a few things here. All right. Let me address a few things here. So I'm reading Brother Henry Yango here. He said, I disagree with you because President Weah will never support such act. This has nothing to do with the CDC. Brother Yango, let me be honest with you. You have been very dishonest to yourself today. Yes, you have been very, very dishonest. The individual, Jimmy Smith, is a sedition. The principle of CDC guidelines applies to him. Whatever value CDC has as a party or the coalition that needs to be done through transparency, that need to be done through accountability, that need to be done through the rule of law, according to what we heard, it was not followed by this representative that belonged to CDC party. Why? Because the leader of the party, in person of George Weah, is not setting the example for everyone to follow. There is something we call party discipline. Mr. Weah will tell people not to appear on any show to have any discussion, which is called party mandate. So when you say Mr. Weah has nothing to do with it, CDC has nothing to do with it, he is a sedition. I just show you the profile. You see, this morning, I think you were asleep when I was talking about many of you guys should not love Mr. Weah. Because if you continue to mix love into politics, you will not see the big picture. All right? You will not see the big picture. You are reacting right now rather than responding. You are reacting because of your love for George Weah and the love of the party. But you are not understanding what the individual who loved the CDC representative did to that lady. You're not understanding those things. And you should learn to take love out of politics. You should learn to do that. Party discipline is not being demonstrated in that situation. It's not. So when you say President Weah had nothing to do with that, he does. Because since this thing happened, his minister of gender, his minister of justice, nobody has said anything. Go on Prince Sherry show right now. Go on Michael Gilmore's show. They're not going to talk about those things. So don't come here and want to justify what Mr. Weah know and what Mr. Weah don't know. Any Liberian foreigner guest in our country that is harmed by a common citizen, it is the responsibility of the government to protect that person. The least to say, when you have a government official who starve her, kill a woman baby, and then you want to come here and say Mr. Weah has nothing to do with that, Mr. Yango, please. I know these people. You see, you guys are one of the people then who enjoy the pleasure of the government. Like I told Tobasi this morning, I believe God that you younger, you can pick up the phone, you talk to the president, you talk to people in the government. So that doesn't apply to you. But when the Aboriginalists that is in Australia, and when they start to take advantage of the commonwealth, like you people and other national in the country, I don't know how you will feel in that country there. But it will become an issue when it happens to you. But as long as it doesn't happen to you, it doesn't apply. That representative is a sedition. A action is a reason, a action is a concern that you draw the president's attention. And you, rather than you seeing sedition got nothing to do with that, you should be saying this guy as a sedition should be ashamed of himself, because that is not what our party stand for. But to clearly want to take Joe out of the picture, that is one of the problems you'll have as sedition. That's one of the problems you'll have. Yes. And we're not putting it on the raw. You need to take your love from George Weah. Because the woman who got hurt, it is not Yango's sister, it is not Yango's wife. So nothing applied. It's not George Weah, it's not CDC. But I bet you, if that was Ellen time and any official had done it to a sedition, then you and Yango will get ready now and say, oh yes, the Unity Party people in power, they're doing this. No, my friend. I will tell you guys, I'm not here to take anybody's side. That woman lost her child at the hands of a CDC lawmaker, at the hands of a staffer that belonged to the CDC. Sedition should be speaking out now to inform the world, to inform the Liberian community that the action of that guy who is part and parcel of the CDC coalition is not the action of CDC. And you need to start condemning it rather than trying to support it to exclude Mr. Weah. Mr. Weah is the first citizen of that country. He needs to be able to set the tone. He needs to be able to set the tone. So let me progress on that.
And this is actually like a mess. Nobody will give the fire service time to do their work. Everybody seems to be up here.
Mr. Yango, I won't go war to you, but here's what I will say to you here. All right? Here's what I will say to you here, Mr. Yango. I'm not going to go to war with you, but I will say this here to you. Seditions, majority of them, especially the boys in our country on the street. All right? Sedition, majority of the boys in our country on the street, they are mostly former rebels that never got to see a reintegration into normal life. Most of them. Most of the boys you see in our country, they're wearing coat suit, they're wearing things. Those are former rebels. Their attitude is within their nefarious attitude from the war is within their subconscious. No man in their right mind, according to that woman's story, will take a rock. A man who belonged to a CDC party will take a rock and stone it in the woman's stomach. No normal man will do that, Yango. No normal man will do that. And you know you can't do that in Australia where you are right now. And nobody in their right mind will do that in Australia. It is a sedition supporter who trying to defend a CDC representative that commits such a murder. You don't need to sit here and can't justify anything here. Sedition contains a lot of former rebels. Yes, they are all former, most of them are former rebels. And you know that. Nobody in their right mind will do such a thing like that. And we need to make sure we understand the problem. We need to make sure we understand the problem. Yes. We need to make sure we understand the problem. I'm not here to please anybody. I'm here to be the one who will speak the truth. That country got people with mental illness. So don't justify somebody. The woman lost her child at the hand of a supporter of a CDC public official. That is the bottom line of what happened here. So don't justify anything, my friend. You got problem. You need to discipline your people. Your boys need to be disciplined. They came from a 14-year civil war. They are not disciplined. They see human being. I hate to say they see an animal. No man in their right mind that belong to a party that want to lead the country will behave the way they behave to that lady. No. And that is the scary part about it. So can anybody tell me what is the purpose of what the guy is doing here? Can anybody tell me what is the purpose here? What is he trying to achieve here? I mean, I just want to understand what the guy is trying to achieve here. The building is going to burn down. So what is he trying to achieve here? He's just making the situation worse. Trying to take the roof down is going to create more hazard, not only for him, but even for the firefighter themselves. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, this area is on the Dupo Road, or LRB guy is on the Dupo Road. And another thing too that is going on here that you don't. I mean, look at the community, folks. Look on the ground. See how dirty the place is. See how dirty the place is. All the debris on the ground here. When it rains, the water going to be washed out. The surface water will be washed out and go right in the drainage system, and they will create a flood in the city. I mean, in this community here. But one thing I also want to bring to you guys' attention here is this: the firefighter. I mean, the businesses over there contain different product in the stores. Some of them got chemical. Some of them had different product that the natural water cannot put off. So they will end up wasting more water and having less job done, because when a block is on fire, especially a community of businesses is on fire, there are different product that people got in there that cannot easily be quenched by water. So how do we fix that? Well, we'll leave it with the sedition and we'll see what they can do about it. I mean, the sad thing about it, you got a whole country, you got government in the country there, and something like fire, I mean, in a community, and you got a community dweller that don't even know how to fight fire. Whatever their eyes see, their mind process it, and they just go right ahead and just go and do things. Now, when you show the video to some of your friends, and you're telling them that these are civilians trying to quench a fire, I mean, it's going to be a very concerning situation because they don't know the extent of the fire. They don't understand what is happening, but they want to be firefighter. And this is very common among every community in Liberia. Whenever there's a fire, you see few handful of people. Look at all these zinc they put in here. This is creating a very difficult situation for the fire put to maneuver to get in here. Normally, people don't break down roof of a building when fire is taking place. I mean, something that I want to say. The way our country behave, the authority in our country, they are not really educating the people. Those who are in authority, they are not educating the people. Where in the world will you see a fire on a block and you have people trying to unroof the building? What is the purpose of that? So when the fire takes place, who conduct the investigation to determine what will be the next course of action? I mean, there's no standard, there's no procedures how things should be done.
So the owner of this business center, God Cave.
Look at this guy. See the guy here with his hair here with all shit? He went in there now. He is suffering from smoke inhalation now. He's coming outside now to get oxygen. He has nothing to do with the firefighting now. He's trying to catch some fresh air. He's lucky he came outside alive.
This is a very huge situation. The Liberian will not give the professionals the chance to do their work. It's making it very difficult. Everybody seems to be fire expert at this point. Some of them are even confusing the fire service men. Yeah, because everybody tried to give instruction. And because of the...
So this is the country we got, folks. This is the country we got. All right? This is the country we got. All the book we claim to know, all the civilization we claim to know, when we get a simple fire, look at the people. The people, the civilian over there, they are more of a burden than the fire itself. What are they doing over there? What is the discipline that when fire happens, you need to stay away from the fire? People don't go towards fire. You are trained to move away from fire. But in Liberia, people move towards the fire, then go away from the fire. What does that tell you? One, that we had no standard of how things should be done. Two, there's no procedures. This current government is not even educating the people. I'm learning that they got community leaders. There have been several fires across so many communities. But what role is the fire and community are engaging into each other to tell people how to prevent fire, how to not become a victim of fire, and what steps should be taken whenever there is some type of fire? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You see the firefighter over there, they're not even wearing masks.
I mean, the way this place is clustered. So we just got to pack up. So another fire truck that just arrived. So another fire truck has just arrived to quench this fire. So
now all the guys here who are participating in the process. Look at the guy, for example, who is wearing the Cameroonian uniform, soccer uniform here. He is wearing something that is not even a punch resistant here. As people breaking these zincs over here, there are nails coming out of this zinc, and these guys are here. The other guy with flip-flop, they are putting themselves in harm's way. All right? They are putting themselves in harm's way.
This is the second fire truck. If only the Liberians would give the fire service men the chance to do their work, I think this fire will actually be quenched as soon as possible. But it seems to be that there's not enough.
Look here. Where is the crowd control? Look at the guy in the white t-shirt here. There is no room for the people to operate. There's no room. Now you see when I'm asking the question, what standard do we have? What process procedures do we have to do anything in Liberia? This is a very strange question that someone can be asking. But here's the reality you're looking at here. Nobody seems to know their role. Everybody want to be in control. So then who is in charge?
Police officers here. So the number of police officers here cannot control the people.
And look at the smoke across here. These guys need to leave this area because this smoke is very toxic. They don't know what they're breathing in right now.
Around here. So more police is needed to make sure that the
This fire lady here, she's not even dressed in any PPE except for the helmet. All right, she's been exposed as well too. This guy here is completely in the harm's way. There should be a certain hot zone area that they guys not supposed to be in here. Oh God, yeah.
and I must say, few of the guys here.
Now, these two firefighters going in here, I don't see them with any SCBA that is self-contained breathing apparatus. They don't have nothing here. This guy in the white t-shirt here, he's not going in there. This roof can collapse over here. And we are just looking at this from a risk standpoint, all right? And just so you know, let me just say this to you guys here, all right? So let me say this here. Let me say this here, all right? Let me just say this here. You may be wondering why J. Randy is talking like this. Where I work, we have what we call first responder. Our first responder, we use SCBA, a full level 1 SCBA. If you recall, on Saturday, I told you guys that I was going to conduct a training. We respond to chemical spill. We respond to fire. We are trained by the local fire department. There's something called train a trainer. We are trained, I'm trained to conduct these exercises. Our limitation is a certain chemical level. If the chemical go beyond that level, we are required to call the trained professional to contain the bigger chemical. As far as conducting drills, we conduct drills at the facility. Employees, our spill team members, we call them the spill team members. They are trained. Just today, we evaluated the list. We counted all the SCBA. We counted all the fire retardant suit and the chemical resistant suit. So I'm not just sitting here talking because I want to talk. This is something I've been doing for almost 18 years now. Yes, for almost 18 years. That's what I've been doing for a living here. So this thing I've seen over there, I'm not just saying it because I want to say. It's just something that I do. One of these days, I will review some pictures to you guys so that you guys can get to see exactly what I'm talking about here. There won't be anything that I will come to say here that I don't have experience about. No. So I see the risks over there. There's a lot of hazard hitting the roof of that thing. I'm concerned about the firefighters. I'm concerned about the surveillance over there. That's our country. No standard, no procedures, nothing. This is something completely that is done by heart. I think my brother once said, Brother Sam William, it's all about guessing things. We need more work to be done in our country, and it will take professional people to do the kind of work. So let's watch the video. It's almost about to close up. So let's watch and enjoy, all right?
Been very instrumental in making sure that this fire is quenched, but other passerby looking for the opportunity to loot. And those who manage to have some of their products or their goods from the shop are not aware that, I mean, they don't even know where the products or the goods have been taken. So, because at this point, people just walk into the shop and just take as much as they can in the.
And guys, check this out, right? So right here, you see the whole big thing we call gutter here. This should be a stormwater collection system. Whenever it rains, the rainwater is supposed to come in the stormwater collection system here. So technically, these people who building over here, I don't know what they got building permit to build over here, but the whole stormwater system here now has been compromised. So that means when it rains, that whole community might get flooded because there's no pathway for the water to go. So the community itself too got some environmental problems that could cause public health issue. And here we are. So you look at this photo, you see a lot of things happening in the photos. And I mean, there are a lot of things.
Name of helping, but in real time, some of them just walk away with the goose. Yeah. So keep watching. We have the second truck that have come and helping to quench the fire at this point. And this is how the makeshift cluster here is giving the fire service a terrible, hard time to go between these shops. So there's no.
If you ever heard the saying, if everybody is in charge, who is in control? Or if everybody seems to be in control, who is in charge? Here is a perfect example here for you guys. You got young men, civilians, trying to take charge of the situation, trying to take control of the situation. But at the same time, you got firefighter in the area. So who is actually in control or who is in charge? That is the confusion you're looking at right here, folks.
No walkway, there's no alley, everywhere is blocked.
The smoke, my man.
So what is the difference there? The guy broke the roof down, but the building still collapsed. So I don't know what was the purpose of hitting the roof. I just think they were creating more hazard over there. And I won't be surprised if somebody get their shoes or their slipper or even their boots get punched by some sharp object. I won't be surprised in the situation here.
Oh my God.
That guy who is coughing right now, he need to step away because the smoke is entering his throat, getting to his lungs and making him very uncomfortable. That means whatever is in that smoke odor is not good for every one of them. It's going to affect their eyes. It's going to affect their sinus and stuff like that. I mean, this is not a better place to be. You need to move away because that burning is mixed with a lot of chemical and it's going to make the air very toxic. They need to get out of there. It's a serious air pollution issue. I'm more concerned about the air pollution issue right now than the contamination on the soil and the groundwater for now. The air pollution from the smoke is more dangerous right now. Now look at these guys. All right, these guys are holding the hose over there, the fire hose. All right, they had no gloves because they are not trained, and they just look at the standby. What if there's some type of explosion from here? If something go kaboom, all the guys then will become victim, and the next thing you know, like we're going to be on the bigger news, on Facebook, on YouTube, on BBC, and the Raw. We're going to be a bigger problem, and that's why when fire happens, you want the people to stay away from these. I mean, create a zone, create a red zone, green zone, yellow zone, and make sure you put in place specific, blockers for people to not enter. But again, there's no standard. You see the water punching out of the hose here. You see the water punching out of the hose. Let me just release the video again. You see the water shooting out of there. That tells me that they had never been inspecting the hose. Yeah, there's no inspection process of the hose, and they don't even rehearse, because if they were inspecting the hose by running water through it, they would have spotted the sparks or the opening on the hose. All right, and these are things we call. These things should be audited during the time over there. Yeah, they need to be audited, but they're not auditing these things. That's why you see now the rear thing starting, and now you see the water. There you go. There you go there, folks. What did I tell you guys? There you go. That's the first victim right there. How you think that thing happened? Folks, let me ask you, how you think this thing happened? How you think it happened? What is the trigger for this thing? All right, guys. Why you think that thing happened? Because the nail that hold the zinc, people just punching it up, punching it up, punching it up. They were creating more hazards. If that thing had just burned by itself, the nail will remain intact. It will be left in the wood because it will be fighting. But the guy then punching all the roof out. There go one the victim there. Just go on the victim. And I believe there will be more victim. And that punch to the bush, that means that the bush is not punch resistant. Yes, this is not a punch resistant bush. Yes. So that's another problem too. When you go into fire, you need to have a boost that is punch resistant to some extent. They don't have those things in there. All right? They don't have those things in there. So if I were to walk to the fireplace and go do an inspection, look at the boost, look at the dexterity of the boost, how you move your tools in the boost and how rigid the boost is, what is the punch level, whether it's level 1, level 2, level 3. We need to understand these things. There you go. Now watch.
I thought I wanted to show you the cause of the fire.
No, we can talk right now. So tell me now, you one of the owners of the area. Your name again?
I'm Moses Escobar.
Moses, how the fire started? How they started?
The beginning of the say he had a generator. And then the generator was right in the building at the back there. The generator catch on fire. That's what happened. The generator catch on fire. That's what happened.
So according to this guy, he's alleging that the source of the fire is due to the generator. And 9 out of 10 times he is right, because number one, it might have been some electrical faulty connection, because more fire will either start from electrical fault connection. Sometimes people take one extension cord, plug it into the other one. That is called daily. When fire inspector come visit your facility, these are possible things they look for. How well your electrical connection works. Yes. So when he says that, I believe it. And then once that fire caught, of course, the generator uses what? Gasoline, right? And so when the generator exploded, it started to spread. And then as the wind blows, the fire started to go from one place to another. And that generator is connected to a building, perhaps I don't know how many buildings over there that the generator supply with power. So depending on the wiring connection, when that generator exploded, it probably went through one building to another, and Liberia is in dry season time now, right? So the fire will be very faster than the rainy season time. So again, when the people get the generators, which institution in the country is responsible to carry out the proper use of the generator, how well you should use the generator. So one man mistake now has caused a lot of people to lose their businesses over there because the appropriate authority is not educating the people. The people go out there and do their own thing. All right. There should be a fire code that is applicable to any piece of equipment you want to use. Hey, we're talking too much. Let me progress here, guys.
And when the generator catch on fire, instead of putting the generator outside, everyone's not going to the fire and putting it outside. What happened? They keep on the generator. All generator and have it. That's what happened.
All right, thank you. All right, so that's the CEO of God Cave Center here. Fortunately for him, his business center is not.
This guy here is one of the source of the problem. He keep going around and just trying to unroof I mean, look what he got on here. He has nothing that is resistant to anything, including any sharp stick, but he gets going and just creating more hazard, taking things out. This guy is one of the trouble. I don't know who telling him to do what his mind is telling him, whether that is the solution to the ongoing problems. But I think he's creating more problem than solving the problem here.
That affects it as compared to the other shops here that have lost all their goods and even down to their building. How are you? So you can see here. Let me just move further a little bit. So one of the firefighter sustained injury in this particular process, and he's.
Now, if you see the guy boost there, look at the firefighter boost here. This is not a point resistant boost here. So how you think he sustained this injury? 9 out of 10 times, that injury may have come from a loose nail on the ground. And where you think that loose nail came from? Those guys that had a T-bar stick or raw that were just hitting the roof, they were the ones just sticking all the nails of the zinc, and one of it maybe just fall upside down, and the guy just came and just step on it, and here you go. I'm very much concerned about whether he had been giving any tetanus injection. Yes, because the nails, when it's still in the plank, due to the corrosion over time, the nails start to rust. And when the nails start to rust, it creates a very corrosive around it. And then when it punch and hit you, there is a concern that if you don't get tetanus shot, you may be impacted. So I don't know whether the fire guys in Liberia are getting the pre-tetanus shots before they go out there. But in that situation, as a first aid trained and an AED person, we recommend, if they don't have it, he needs to go and get some tetanus shot. But I believe the doctors on the ground will best be able to treat him. But the source of that problem, 9 out of 10 times, may have come from those unwanted guys who were just breaking stuff down.
Been given a first aid by one of his colleagues. Yeah, you can see that, trying to make sure to get that out of his skin. Doing the process, nail enter. So he's being taken care of by one of the the lady on the fire truck.
I mean, Yango, I just read something here. The fire department is solely under the fire chief or the fire commissioner. That is an executive appointment. What they need to do, there is a budget. I believe the budget from the executive, I don't know the committee on risks and management at the House of Representatives, but there are more things that the fire bureau in Liberia can do to generate money. All right. They can engage private institutions, provide services for them by training. They can engage private institutions. So aside from the budget they got, there are other ways that they can start to generate money as well. Community being based in the community, they can also get the community engaged. So as far as the lawmakers, in my opinion, can only increase their budget to make sure that they become effectively trained, better PPE are provided to them. But the executive, I believe the president of Liberia appoints the fire chief. He's not elected. See, that one the thing we keep pushing for a representative democracy. Because a fire chief in every community across Monrovia and across Liberia are elected, and the community take responsibility to protect their community because they have a local police department or depot, a local fires house close to them. Gradually over time will start to improve. But when we start to talk about some of these things, it becomes very foreign. And because it is foreign, they put almost like 15, 20 years before they can even get to it to discuss. And in the process, property will be damaged, people will die, and the country will remain as one of the challenged countries while other countries are making progress. So that's
Well, folks, this is how I like to cut down this particular broadcast on Spawn TV. Thanks for watching. My name is Manuel Kotu.
So there you have it there, guys. There you have it. And we are come to the end of tonight's presentation. Again, this is J. Randy here. I am not here to entertain you, but to create and locate the challenges in our country. The two video you saw today, if you were to grade the two video, honestly, you would not give them any C minus, but I believe it will be all F, F, F. Why? Because the way things are done in the country, it defines the kind of people we have and the society in which they operate. A gentleman just walking up to a woman, slapping a woman, throwing stick at a woman, taking a piece of rock to hit on a woman's hand. If that is not a hatred, I don't know what that is. But in the process, she lost her baby. Not only is she hurt from losing her baby, but the individual who committed that murder belongs to a representative who knowingly walked to the police station without even giving due process and took the man out of there. That to me means that he is rewarding the behavior of that man. And as a young man who read the profile of that individual, a timeline profile, that he doesn't take criticism lightly. He responds with violence. So I'm not surprised that what his staffer did to that lady to lose her child. I'm not surprised because that's who they are. They are seditionists. They got no discipline. They are in power. They are not showing any discipline. Leaders should set the tone in the country, from the president to the last party man. If they go out there, if one sedition does something wrong, all sedition should say no to that person's behavior. It will help to reduce it. But if you have a CDC lawmaker who go out there and beat on people because they express themselves, and then when his staffer, who see what his boss does all the time, go out of his way and go beyond by causing a woman to lose her child, that is one of the most dangerous things that I can ever imagine finding myself going to that country. You may be a citizen living abroad. I will ask you this question. If that was something that happened in the country you find yourself in right now to your wife, how will you feel? You will feel bad. But what will be the consequences? The law will come and help you. But when it happened in Liberia, it is done by a sedition. And because it is not your relative, you found nothing wrong with that. Because the love you got for Georgia, take politics aside, don't mix politics with love. Because while other people are hurting, because you love Georgia, you love the CDC party, you don't care about the feelings of other people. We had that same situation in 1980. Our leaders were killed. We experienced that same thing until 1989. Samuel Kanyando was killed. We need to understand why all Liberians matter and not just few Liberians, especially politically. It is absolutely wrong. The second video you saw, it just goes to show that the society is so uncivilized, lack of discipline, that when something happens, you don't see any proper ways, procedures, or standard of doing things. You saw the video. Young men, young women that know nothing about firefighting, they are more engaged in fighting the fire with no sense of control, putting themselves in harm's way. Do you think this year we learn anything from January 2nd to today? Do you think we learn anything in the December month? I would say no. Because look at the country. The LRB guy, you said 174 years. And look how we're behaving today. Look how we're behaving. My boy was Bossy said here, they need steel toe boots, of course. They got need better steel toe boots to jack themselves out to go in there. You need to find one individual with any SCBA, self-contained breathing apparatus on their back so that they can stay away from the smoke inhalation. Nothing like that. So that's what we are, folks. That's Liberia there for you guys. That's Liberia there. These are the common things that determine whether we got or we're making progress on the Liberia Human Development Index, the LDI. LHDI, Liberia Human Development Index, the LHDI. The more the people are aware of things in the country, especially from the community level, the higher the community, the Liberia Human Development Index will be. But from what you see over there, it follow derail our progress towards Human Development Index. Because the Human Development Index of Liberia should be able to give every Liberian the ability that if you are in confusion, if you're having a quarrel with somebody, you don't take your hands and hit that person. You don't take stone and hit the person in the stomach. That woman could have died over there along with her baby. And that lawmaker doesn't understand. He doesn't understand because I believe he belonged to a former rebel group that humiliated and killed people in that country, and they got no feeling. No normal human being who got feeling for people would do such a thing. No, they would be afraid. But I believe that most of the guys, especially in the CDC government, they are rebels. They don't have no feelings. If Mr. Weir loved that country, he will start speaking on that issue tomorrow. He will authorize Pisota to have a press conference to address a human being got killed in this country. Americans are fighting to prevent abortion. In a country called Liberia, somebody intentionally took a stone, knowing for the world that somebody is pregnant, and killed the person's child, and nothing comes from it. And then you call yourself sedition. Not for me, my friend. Not for me. Not for me. Every life matter. Even the unborn one in the stomach matter. If a government official supports somebody who does that, every citizen who respects life should be out here calling on our lawmaker, calling on the president to take a stand. I don't see it happening. Well, why to show them? I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's 11 o'clock. Thank you guys so much. We stretched it a little bit, but I think we took a lesson learned from here. It's going to take another 65 years for Liberia to be a better country, my friend. Few of us here will just be the witness to what's happening, and all we can do is to wonder. All the other entertainers, them, the gossiper, them, they're going to bed now. The reality is on the ground. It's not been given any attention. We got a long way to go. So let's enjoy some more music and get out of here. 11 o'clock, folks. 11 o'clock. What's my goodbye song? Goodbye to you guys. All right. So I see you guys, man. The Tiwata show is over. Enjoy yourself, all right? I see you guys. Get ready is out. Let me say hi to my boy Wax over there. He watching me from Facebook. Yes. Somebody said, Jay Randy, this is what we are on this platform for betterment for our country. Yes, you're right. Why would a man put his hand on another man's wife? That's a very good question there, Marula. That's a very good question. Yes. We are here to fight illiteracy. We are here to fight illiteracy. We want transparency. See the water? It's transparent. Transparency, you can see it. That's what we need in Liberia. Bye, guys. Noble Kid, man, see you, man. Thank you so much for watching from YouTube there, Noble Kid. Take care.